Olga Box Clips.
Atomic habits. Oh yeah, this comes to a question. Somebody said, suggestions for replacing habits. One of my phrases, if you have bad habits and you want to stop that bad habit, you cannot erase, you must replace. Write that down. If you were talking about your habits, you cannot just erase a habit, you must replace it. So write this down. For when it comes to habits, you cannot erase, you must replace. So his question was, suggestions for replacing habits. Well, each different type of bad habit might have a different replacement for it. So it's hard for me to cover all, but if I'm giving things like in our trading, one of the biggest things about being able to get a good habit boils down to one thing. If you're going to write down a word tonight that's going to stick with you tonight, this is the one. I'm going to do it in all caps. Repetition. That's one word. However, what I want you to think about though, when you are doing your market replay is proper repetition. And I'm going to say repetitions. And no, there's no parentheses around this. It is repetitions, plural, because I have said this in one of our most recent live streams as well, but I'm going to hit it here one more time here tonight because it is that important. In the same way that people will say, often they'll say, practice makes perfect. No, let's replace that one here tonight with practice makes permanent. Perfect. All right. If you want to do bad things like ICT, here's why ICT students, I feel bad for them, get wrecked because they're practicing bullshit. So what does that produce? Stinky in, stinky out. You don't want that. Practice does not make perfect. It makes permanent. So if you're putting in crap from ICT, you are going to be crap. Fact. Okay. So let's focus on what's the solution. Everybody should probably know this one. Probably all heard this one. Y'all smart folks. Perfect practice. Right? In the same way that crappy practice makes crappy, right? Perfect practice makes perfect. Cool. Now, do we have to be perfect? No, we don't. Because remember this phrase with us in AlgoBox, you do not have to be perfect to be profitable. And then if anybody is telling that you have to be like ICT, he's also, again, those people are a fraud. If they're like, oh, it's gotta be perfect. That's why you're failing because you're not perfect yet. You're not perfect like me because you don't do my habits. You don't have my habits because I'm perfect and you aren't perfect. So that's why you're failing. Not because of my strategies, because you didn't learn my perfect. No, you don't have to be perfect to be profitable. Okay. We miss trades a lot. We will misfire. In fact, we had some jokes, even recently about one of our own members being like, oh, I misclicked on the button but was able to come back. You don't have to be perfect to be profitable. Did not ruin his entire profitability for the day just because he was not perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be profitable, but this depends on the size of your P&L. Here is a big one for you. There is a direct correlation. There's a direct correlation between the amount of time you spend in market replay. Those who don't know what market replay is, MR, this is market replay, and the size of your P&L. Okay, this is not necessarily profitability. Okay, again, you don't have to be perfectly profitable, but if you want to be the guy who is a top guy on the server in gaming, the guy who has probably spent more time in the game is going to be better, etc. So I do encourage you on a regular basis. I tell you to spend the time in the market replay. But what happens if you're spending time in market replay and you're not doing it right? Is that going to help you? No. So now I'm going to give you the solution to how you should be doing market replay. Are you ready? Now, some people have already seen this. It's okay. I'm going to re-hit it again because it is that important. And I hope that somebody catches it this time. In market replay, you guys know we trade 5 trades. So oftentimes people will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, and then they'll go on to next. And then they'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do the next one, the next one. But I'm like, hey, well, what was your trade number 1? They're like, I don't remember. Let me go back and look. Oh, that's upsetting. I'm sorry. That's not how you should be practicing. Here it is. Here's the magic. Are you ready? Change it tonight. If you have not been doing this, don't beat yourself up about it. But here is the new hotness. This is what you're going to do from now on if you want to be thebomb.com. So you're doing this 5 sets thing. Okay, now that you just did this play 5 times, guess what happens? You get good at this play. You get good. Do you want to get good? Do you want to increase your P&L? Do you want a ginormous P&L? You want people looking at you like, holy shnikes, you see the size of that guy's P&L? Yes, you do. You want that. So how do you do it? You want to get good, then do it 5 times. Go to the next one. Do this one 5 times. That play, look, you might think, oh, I already did that one. No. Do it again. Beat yourself up to become good at that play so that it becomes a habit. Somebody asked to come full swing back. You're like, oh, Vinny's going off on this. Nope. I answered the question. The question came down to how do you replace the habit. A habit is something you just do naturally without thinking about it, isn't it? Now, you might think about it on occasion, but I am telling you that this is how you replace and fix a bad habit with a new good habit. You become, I don't want to say God tier, because listen, I have a lot of respect for the good Lord. I don't like to say it, but you know what I'm saying. In gaming, they'll say, oh, God mode. Ultimate tier level in this game. Again, it is not going to mean, oh, well, you'll be profitable or not. You could probably be profitable, right? But you might be the guy making a few $100s versus the guy who you're like thousands, right? And your average is averaging thousands a day or averaging hundreds a day. Difference is this habit right here. And if you repeat, now, does it mean you only have to do 5? No, in fact, if you do more than this, even more powerful. Do it 10 times. Where that trade, if it ever shows up, think about this. If you do something 5, 10 times, if it shows up in a live market, what do you think happens to your brain? Your brain goes right back to, it's like pattern recognition. We are very good as humans at recognizing faces. We may not remember a name, right? Your guys like, oh, I can't remember that rule. What was that rule, Vinny? But I tell you what, if you saw a pattern multiple times, you will remember you saw that. Now, oftentimes you're like, oh, I've seen this before, but I don't remember. How many of you guys had this? Really need to do a little raise your hand. See if you can find an icon of raise your hand if this is you. How many times have you been like, oh, I've seen this pattern before, but I don't know what comes next? If you have that feeling more often than not, that sucks, number one. Number two, though, if you can't remember what comes next, it's because you have not done enough of this. You follow me on this? Okay. You want to have done enough of this that you're like, I know what's going to happen right here. Oh, I've got this recorded in my brain. I know what comes next. So your confidence increases, your size of your trade increases, your confidence increases. And if your confidence increases, you can push the size that you want to push. You can define your own way. You can define your own risk and profitability. I don't want to say profitability because that's like a on-off. You can define your own level of success. You could trade that with 3 contracts, or you could go 4 or 5. You could, I'm just a toe in the water guy because I'm not really sure. But if you're like, dude, I know what's coming next, you know what you're going to do? You're going to go big, aren't you? You feeling me? You're feeling it. This is it. That's a secret right there.
Press the like button, share, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts and what you've learned.
Watch this next video.